Hello everyone, welcome to Rainbow Infinity. Today I'll be reading Lise's Fluttershy vs. Tablet. If you like the reading, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please enjoy. No. Okay. Fluttershy stared at the rectangular slab on the table. When she had mentioned to the hotel manager that she wanted to send an apology letter to Rainbow Dash, she didn't imagine he'd bring her this. Fluttershy hadn't had the slightest idea what the device was, or how to use it, but had smiled politely nonetheless, thanking the man as he left it in her room. It seems harmless, she thought, gently tapping it on the side. It didn't look like any type of mail Fluttershy had ever seen. It rather resembled a window, made of black crystal, or possibly a mirror. Oh, why is this world so complicated? The Pegasus huddled in the corner of the sofa. A nice piece of paper and a quill would have been so useful right now. Yet, somehow, there were none in the entire suite. That hotel manager himself had said, with some pride, that the hotel was paper-free, which was strange since Fluttershy could clearly see a whole shelf of books on the wall across her. No matter, paper or not, I must do this. Fluttershy moved back to the middle of the sofa, then pulled the black slab to the edge of the table. Unlike the other devices she had seen, this one looked deceptively simple. It had one single button, as far as she could tell, and if Fluttershy had learned anything of the human world, it was that everything was started by buttons. Taking a deep breath, she pressed it with the tip of her hoof. Hardly had she done so when the slab changed color, its surface starting to glow in a bright white light. Eek! Fluttershy flopped back, eyes shut, ears flat on the sides of her head. For several seconds, she stood still, braced for any terror that might follow, hooves and wings in front of her face. Finally, she cracked an eye open. The slab remained on the table, calm and motionless, its surface completely white. Maybe it's supposed to be like that? The pony inched back to it. A large "hello" appeared in the center of the slab. Hello? Fluttershy asked. Welcome. Thank you. She smiled. For once, she had come across a polite human device. I'm very sorry to disturb you, but there's a teensy little favor I wanted to tap to start your personalized tour. Oh, Fluttershy blushed. That's very kind of you, but, I don't want you to go through all that trouble just for me. The slab didn't react. It's very kind of you, but I just want to send a letter to my friend Rainbow Dash. Fluttershy flashed a large smile. Please? Drops of sweat appeared on her face. No reaction followed. Oh dear, I upset him. Fluttershy bit her lip, then moved closer to the glowing surface. I didn't mean to upset you, she said softly, and I'd love to go on a tour. The device ignored her. Firmly, yet kindly, it kept the message on its surface. Fluttershy's expression changed from smiling to worried. Her hoof moved over the slab and tapped it gently. No change. The Pegasus tapped again, this time with a bit of force. She could feel the surface, smooth and hard as crystal, yet couldn't get it to respond. I really upset him. Her ears drooped. Right now she was happy none of her friends were here to see her. The first polite human contraption, and she had treated it so badly that it no longer wished to talk to her. Sorry, Fluttershy whispered, leaning closer. I'm a terrible pony. Her muzzle brushed against the slab. Thank you. The message changed, causing Fluttershy to pull back again. Enjoy your tablet experience. Thank you. Fluttershy's ears perked up. She opened her mouth, but before she could add anything, images appeared on the slab. Rectangles, circles, and triangles of various sizes and colors moved about, transforming the surface into a picturesque seaside scene. The pony's eyes opened wide. Two neatly arranged rows of squares danced on the picture like candies on the carpet. In a way, it looked like the Cutie Mark map in Equestria, only smaller and flatter and not as magical. What do I do now? Fluttershy wondered. Tapping on the rectangles didn't work. Neither did asking the device for help. Maybe it wants me to be more clear? Fluttershy took a better look. There were small lettering under each square, almost like signs under a postbox. Notes, pages, maps, and many others she couldn't make sense of. Could I have a page, please? She whispered, moving her muzzle to the surface. Her nostrils brushed against the cold glass, yet this time nothing happened. Pretty, please? Fluttershy repeated, then out of habit slid her muzzle to the side. The rows of squares briskly moved to the left, replaced by an entirely new set. Eep! Fluttershy's head shot back up. The change made her rethink her attitude to the device. Either it was being too friendly, or there was something she wasn't seeing. A device that responded to nuzzling didn't make sense even for the human world. Still, in the spirit of experimentation, the Pegasus pressed her muzzle against the slab's surface and slid it to the right. The squares moved again. "Oh," said, beaming with joy. "I'm so silly." She did the action a few more times. It was just like moving the pages of a book, only using her muzzle instead of wings or hooves. Slightly less comfortable than she was used to, but everything considered, maybe a bit more hygienic. After all, her parents always told her to wash her hooves before reading books. The people to this world had simply taken it to the next level. Books could only be read with muzzles. Fluttershy dragged back the square with pages written underneath. For several moments she stared at it, considering her next action, then stuck out her tongue and licked it. The slab's surface changed again, transforming into a sheet of paper. "Yay!" Fluttershy clapped her forearms. "It's like riding back home, only without a quill." Blowing a lock of hair out of her eyes, the Pegasus started her letter. "Dear Rainbow Dash." She moved her tongue across the surface. A belt of letters appeared on the lower half, yet Fluttershy promptly ignored them, focusing on her calligraphy. To her shame, it had been a while since she had written a formal letter, and the letters were more crooked than she would have liked. "I am sorry for behaving the way I did. You are my closest friend, and I never intended being rude." Finely crafted letters covered the page to the point there was no more space. In any other circumstance, Fluttershy would have panicked, but she was a changed pony now, one who had confronted several human devices and learned from her encounters. With absolute calm and complete certainty, she put the tip of her muzzle on the bottom of the slab and flicked up. The surface changed again, yet instead of a blank page, a picture of dancing fruit appeared. "Welcome to Fruit Commando," a cheerful voice announced, making her mane stand on end. "Tap to start." "No, no, no!" Fluttershy frantically started moving her muzzle all over the screen. The picture didn't change. Instead, fruit started flying all over it. "Well done," the device said. "Triple score." "Ooh." Fluttershy kept flicking. Seeing that her muzzle had little effect, she resorted to using her tongue. "Maybe if I remove all the pieces of fruit off, I can return to my letter?" "Super combo!" Stars burst on the slab, causing her to wince. "No!" Fluttershy screamed. Her hoof frantically tapped on the button in the hopes that it would save her from the chaos. The fruits disappeared, shrinking into nothingness. In their stead, the familiar seaside image appeared. Fluttershy's tongue, used to slice fruits until recently, ended up on a square with the picture of a compass on it. Before she could lift her head, the screen changed again. Fluttershy's eyes widened in terror. Her wings puffed open on reflex, trembling slightly. "Eep! This isn't what I wanted." Right then, there was a knock on the door. Fluttershy looked up only to see it creak open, and a somewhat cautious Rainbow Dash peer at her. Shy, I was passing by and..." Dash began, then stopped. Her eyes moved from Fluttershy, staring at her tongue sticking out, wings extended, to the picture of a horse on the table in front of her. The blue Pegasus swallowed. "I'll be back later." "No, wait," Fluttershy squeaked. "I was writing you a The door slammed shut. Terror. Fluttershy's ears flopped down. Her lower lip trembled. "Why does this always happen to me?" Tears gathered in the corners of her eyes. "Do you want to place a bet?" the device before her asked in an annoyingly cheerful voice. Fluttershy glared at it. Calmly, she pressed the single button with the tip of her hoof, then turned the slab upside down, putting it face down on the table. "No, Mr. Slab, I do not want to place a bet," she said. "I want to do what I should have done in the first place." Taking a deep breath, the Pegasus then hopped off the sofa, took a final look at the room, then opened the door and left. Thank you for listening in. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Until next time, stay tuned.